American history and urban legends are filled with stories that came out of public housing projects. Every major city either has or had some version of public housing. During the Great Depression, the United States began experimenting with housing projects as a way to combat urban slums and the economic turmoil of the time. One major misconception is that these housing projects were originally designed and built for minorities and the impoverished. That's not the case. Initially, they were intended for middle-class families who were struggling during the Depression, with the government stepping in to help. The idea was to eliminate slums, provide affordable and safe housing, and prevent families from becoming homeless. However, things didn't always go as planned. By the 1970s, many of these projects had deteriorated into dangerous places. Some of the worst were demolished and replaced with better public housing models. The biggest issue was the design. Massive towers packed with struggling families turned into chaos. Usually, a small percentage of residents caused the majority of the problems. The result? Fear and frustration for the rest. Despite these challenges, these projects gave rise to some incredible cultural contributions, legendary music, gripping crime dramas, and powerful stories. Today, we're diving into 10 of the most infamous housing projects in American history. No particular order here, after all, how do you rank something like this? Let's just explore the stories of these places. Number 10, the Magnolia Projects, also known as the C.J. Peet Projects, in New Orleans. When people think of New Orleans, they often imagine Mardi Gras, Bourbon Street, or jazz music. But the city has also been home to some of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the country. The Magnolia Projects were no exception. From the 1970s through the 1990s, the Magnolias were a hotspot for gang activity and violent crime. Things got so bad that, in 1990, the New Orleans Police Department set up a police station directly inside the complex. When Hurricane Katrina devastated the city in 2005, the projects were evacuated, leaving them abandoned for years. By 2008, the last remaining buildings were demolished, making way for Harmony Oaks, a mixed-use development. Harmony Oaks sounds peaceful, doesn't it? But the history of the Magnolia Projects remains a haunting chapter in New Orleans lore. Number 9, Pruitt-Igoe, St. Louis, Missouri. Pruitt-Igoe seemed promising at first. Designed by Minoru Yamasaki, the same architect behind the original World Trade Center, the complex opened in 1954. However, the ambitious project became a disaster almost immediately. Originally, it was meant to house both black and white residents in segregated buildings. But by the late 1950s, the entire project had fallen into severe disrepair due to poor management and design flaws. The elevators, for instance, were a nightmare. They only stopped every third floor, forcing residents to take stairs that quickly became dangerous hotspots for crime. By 1971, only 600 people remained in 17 of the 33 original buildings. Crime, vandalism, and neglect had turned Pruitt-Igoe into a symbol of failed urban planning. By 1976, the entire complex was demolished, leaving behind a cautionary tale for future housing projects. Number 8, Queensbridge Houses, Queens, New York. As the largest public housing complex in the United States, Queensbridge is home to over 7,000 residents across 3,000 units. Located in Long Island City, it has a long and complicated history. Over the years, Queensbridge developed a reputation for violence and illegal activity. In 2005, authorities arrested members of a gang called the Dream Team, who were reportedly making $10,000 a week in illegal sales. Despite its challenges, Queensbridge has also been a cultural hub, producing NBA players and iconic rappers like Nas. Today, tours organized by groups like Jane's Walk take visitors through Queensbridge to learn about its history. But even with its improvements, Queensbridge remains a symbol of both the promise and pitfalls of public housing. Number 7, Marcy Houses in Brooklyn. Marcy Houses is perhaps best known as the birthplace of legendary rapper Jay-Z, who frequently references his time there in his music. Located in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Marcy Houses has long been known for overcrowding, poverty, and crime. With 1,700 apartments and over 1,200 residents, it's one of the more infamous housing projects in New York. Jay-Z's music often paints a vivid picture of life in Marcy, both the struggles and the resilience of its residents. While the neighborhood has seen some improvements, Marcy Houses remains a reminder of the challenges faced by those living in public housing. Number 6, Jordan Downs, Los Angeles. Jordan Downs was originally built as temporary housing for World War II workers but was converted into public housing in the 1950s. Located in the Watts neighborhood, it became known for its high crime rates and gang activity. The Watts riots of 1965 left a lasting mark on the community, and throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Jordan Downs was plagued by violence and poverty. Efforts to revitalize the area have been ongoing, but it remains a challenging place for many residents. Number 5, Nickerson Gardens, Los Angeles. Nickerson Gardens, the largest public housing development west of the Mississippi, is located in the Watts neighborhood of Los Angeles. With 1,066 units spread across 156 buildings, it's no stranger to challenges. The area has long been associated with gang activity and poverty, but it has also been the setting for resilience and community efforts to improve conditions. Like Jordan Downs, Nickerson Gardens is part of ongoing efforts to revitalize public housing in Los Angeles. Number 4, Robert Taylor Homes, Chicago. Opened in 1962, the Robert Taylor Homes were once the largest public housing project in the world, with 16 high-rises housing over 27,000 residents. However, the complex quickly became infamous for its high crime rates and deteriorating conditions. By the 1990s, the crime rate was staggering, and living conditions were dire. The demolition of the Robert Taylor Homes began in 2002, and today, the site is largely vacant land. Number 3, John DeShields Homes, East St. Louis. East St. Louis has long struggled with violence and poverty, and the John DeShields Homes were at the center of it all. From 2000 to 2018, the area saw nearly 500 homicides, many of them within a block of the projects. Efforts to improve the area have been slow, and the John DeShields Homes remain a stark reminder of the challenges facing public housing. Number 2, Techwood Homes, Atlanta. As the nation's first public housing project, Techwood Homes opened in 1936 in Atlanta. Meant to replace a shantytown, it soon became overcrowded and dangerous. By the 1990s, Techwood Homes were demolished and replaced with Centennial Place, a mixed-use development that opened just in time for the 1996 Summer Olympics. Number 1, Cabrini Green, Chicago. Perhaps the most infamous housing project of all, Cabrini Green was known for its high crime rates and deteriorating conditions. Built over a 20-year period, it housed thousands of residents at its peak. The violence and fear were so intense that it inspired the 1992 horror film Candyman. By the late 1990s, demolition began, with the last high-rise coming down in 2011. That's it for today's video. If you've ever experienced life in one of these housing projects, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and, as always, be kind to each other.